Life is great, life is grand, life is beautiful. Glad you're good. Hey, let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Hi, my name is Wayne. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. I would like to help you become a successful Forex trader. I'd like to be your guide and your mentor. I'll push you in the right direction. I'll teach you the right way to set things up emotionally, intellectually. Teach you how to fish, but you're the one that needs to go fishing. Because I think you need to be an intelligent, informed, independent. Those 3 I's? That sounds like a book. You need the 3 I's. You need to be intelligent, you need to be informed, and you need to be independent. I do these sessions 7:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday here at Forex.Today. 7:30 because it's a couple of hours before the New York Open. 7:30 because that's approximately London lunch. So anyways, I'm here for you. But you got to get involved. This is not about entertainment. It's participation, it's action, it's participation. So let me help. May I ask, what time you sleep though? Is that Taiwanese? What time you sleep though? What time do I sleep? Let's say midnight to 5. You want to try? Yeah, weekends. No, that's even worse. No, it's funny though. So I have a close friend who is also in the finance business, not Forex, but he said, I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm reading. I'm doing homework, drinking my coffee. My dog's sitting next to me. Right, the sun's not even up. So I got a lamp, and I'm in the great room, right, sitting next to my lamp, reading. And my buddy texts me at 5 o'clock in the morning, which most people shouldn't get texts at 5 o'clock in the morning. He's like, "Hey man, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. This is really exciting," because he's talking to people in Europe, right? But then he's 2 hours behind me, so it's like 4 o'clock in the morning for him. And he's sending me text messages, and I'm like, you know what? I appreciate that. I like people that hustle. But it's normal for him, right? So, he's got to do business in Europe, but he's in Western Canada, so he's got to, and all this kind of stuff, and it's just normal for us. And I appreciate that. It reminds me, I need to check one thing. Hang on. I just need to see if this is a yes or a no. All right. I got to sort of. All right, cool. So anyways, let's get going. Pig. We'll just go through it. We'll just go through the stuff. Okay. Up. Great. Down. What are the patterns that you notice? Okay. This is where we started it. Do you guys remember doing this? We set it up over 3 or 4 weeks worth of data, and then it double bottomed, and then these triangles here I was guesstimating might happen based on price action, and sure enough we got this lower low, kind of almost did a lower high, right? It did the breakout first, but kind of did it. And then kind of a retracement. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's kind of generally in there. Okay, but you notice what's happening here, though? Huh? And it's very similar to how we set up the bottom, because if you go to the left, it was a lower low followed by a higher high. And I made a big stink about that. That's why I went into a half an hour training about how that's probably a reversal, and we created the old man in a hot bath. Yes, so we did all that, right? So notice up in here, what does that mean? This is the giant aha, isn't it? Oops, I wanted that to be a pen. Come on. This is the giant aha, isn't it? No higher high, no lower low. WWWD, what would Wayne do? What have I taught you to do in scenarios like that? Identify the range, let it break. Because at that point, you don't really know if it's going to go up or down. Okay. So you let it break, and then what? Okay. Is this the reasonable neckline, the monthly pivot point? Is that a reasonable neckline, or am I just going back and trying to throw lines into things that work out so that I look smart? Or does that actually look like a neckline that you would identify yourself? And here's the upside of the range as I would draw it. Do those seem reasonable to you, or am I just trying to fit it all in to look good? Right? You can call BS if you want. It's up to you. I want to make sure that this is a real lesson that you can walk away maybe with an aha moment. Maybe you can print this. I don't know. Okay. Looks fine, right? So what's the next step that I've taught you? For a breakout, first of all, let it break out. But second of all, then what? What's step 2? A retracement back to the role reversal. Okay. So I'll change colors here, and then I'll arrow it. Guess that is an arrow. All right, so that seems to be a breakout. That seems to be a retracement to the role reversal. That seem about right? And notice it went down to the next level of monthly, the next monthly pivot. Isn't that interesting? Or sorry, I did this again. This chart's set up strange. So they're weeklies, not monthlies, right? So anyways, so it went down to the weekly target, not the daily target, but whatever. The next level of support. This area right here. Okay. So that's how you trade the bearish breakout. You sell here. Let's circle it just to make sure. Okay. This is where you sell. Now I have in my strategic and tactical Forex trading presentation, which I made before I wrote my book, like years before I wrote my book. I think it was at the very first Forex Trading Expo. I was a speaker. The first one ever. in Las Vegas. I stayed at the hotel in Mandalay Bay. So we're talking 2005. I had a presentation in which I drew, or I have a chart that shows this pattern, just like this. It looks almost the exact setup, which means it happens a lot. If you've read my book, you've actually seen the chart because I take it from the presentation, put it into the book. So do I have a book? I don't have a book. I found one. I found one. Ah. All right. Oh, I lost my light. Ah. Golly, that trader made my day like the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. All right. See if I can find it. Oh, look, it's right there. I flipped it to the first page. Page 118. Okay. So this is the chart. I suppose it looks in reverse to you, doesn't it? Why does it do that? All right. Can you see? So here it is. I break it down into pieces. You see, there's the breakout pullback. Good speed, losing speed, let it break out, trade the pullback. Circled and everything. Oh, there it is, bro. Brah. There it is, bro. The same pattern. Look at it was an uptrend, then it consolidated, let it break, trade the pullback. Oh, snap. Woo-wee! Page 120. So then here's the next thing I tell you. After I teach you that, and then after I explain why the traditional way of trading that is wrong, then I go into the advanced version or advanced setup, and I just said that you take this distance here, okay? You take the range, plot it to the breakout, and that should be your target. What? So honestly, so the book actually, I wanted to remind myself when it was actually written. I don't even know what year. My wife does. Wow, it has my birthday in here. That's weird. 2008. Yeah, so I bet you it was the 2005, 2004 Forex Trading Expo. It might have been 2004, but I'm thinking 2005. That's kind of cool. It still works. Do you have, what did your TV look like in 2004? Does anybody remember what their TV looked like 13 years ago? This has not changed. How much is your car worth today? If what car did you drive in 2004, and what's it worth today? This is worth the same. You understand? Right? You understand? Like, it's amazing to think about it. Like, there's very little things in this world that are the same as 2004 or 2005, except this trading pattern is just as true today as it was back then. We talked about the up, the consolidation, the breakout, sell the pullback, and then even look at the target. I mean, it's like to the pip. And now we're consolidating again. I don't know. You're welcome. Bear in mind, my book is the worst book ever written. Not even the worst trading book ever written, but like the worst book ever written. And if I had emotions, I'd be very upset about that. People said mean things about me. So, good thing is I don't give it to. I couldn't care less. All right, so yeah, so that's cool, isn't it? That I like that. Now, if you're a bull, you want to get back in, don't you? Well, if you identify this as support, now you're looking for a different type of pattern. Well, Brooke already took it, huh? Right. I didn't say I was building $1 million pool. I just had a guy that builds multi-million-dollar pools in my backyard. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, no. Oh yeah, no, the guy's filthy stinking rich. When the pool guy is a multi-millionaire, it's funny. But he says to me, you know what you need? You need a terraced infinity pool. I'm like, what? He's like, oh, check this out. You stand here, look that way, and then he goes to the different part of the yard, and then he's like, imagine there's another one up here on a higher level. Now look that way, and this will be a reflecting pool here, and that'll be a plunging pool there, and then I'm like, oh, dude, he knows how to spend money. So you want to know how to spend money? There you go. Dude, that's dangerous. I'm like, no. Well, what can I get for 30,000? Yeah. All right. So MoveOn.com. Yeah, waiting pool. That's good. Right now, I'm thinking maybe I don't want a pool. All right. So USD kitty cat, kitty cat. Damn, who drew that? Who drew that? Who would draw such a thing on Wednesday to say the whole thing's going to drop significantly, and then on Friday work its way back north? Who would do such a ridiculous thing? Peter asks a question, and I'll ponder it. Very important to learn when to stop being aggressive and when trading. Yes, Peter, that is what the 21 EMA is about. So, like, that's straight up. But I wrote about that. That's what my book. Well, not all of it, but a big part of strategic and tactical forex trading. A big part of that is understanding when to be aggressive, when to be conservative. Pivot points, for example, they are leading indicators. They tell you when to get out. They don't necessarily tell you when to get in, but they do tell you when to get out. So you need to put those two things together. Should you be aggressive when you hit your target? No, you already hit your target. Why are you aggressive? It's probably the end, right? Should you be aggressive? When your bullish trend is slowing down? No. When you're in expansion phase. So, I mean, that has all been addressed inside and out, upside and in, through and over, the hills and dales, dissected, trisected, and stuffed. Right? Yeah, but you know. That's what, like, for example, the EMAs are a huge part of knowing whether you should be aggressive or conservative. Like, for example, 21 is below the 55, but they're above the 200. What does that mean? It's not bearish. How could it be a bearish? Price is above the 200. Heading back to the 200. Yeah, but it says you shouldn't even be in the trade. You're done. What the hell are you short in an uptrend for? And if you're long, what the hell are you long when the market is bearish? You see what I mean? Like, so I know in that scenario, I don't even want to be in the trade. What if the 21 is above the 55 and the 55 is above the 200? Dude, I should be like redonkulous, ape crazy, ballistic, postal aggressive. Okay? Okay? Hang on. So anyways, somebody just might be re-entering along here on USD CAD. Okay? You can see it's already pre-identified. Because remember, I just did this like Wednesday, right? Do you remember this? I said, look, and so we did it again up into here. Then I drew it down. We hadn't even fallen yet. So it fell from 25 to 24, 25 and some change, 24 and some change. Yeah, so it dropped 100 pips, hit the pivot, hit the roll reversal, might be going up. Who knows? Okay. Okay, daily view. Okay. What do you see here? Well, depends on how you want to describe, okay? But let's put it this way, and I'll change it to red. The best case scenario, if everything is awesome for a bear, is this. You cannot do any better than that. I guess it's just like that. Hey, Alan. Okay, that's the best case scenario. But it has permission to reverse. You're not expecting lower low. It can make a lower high. So another very likely scenario is like this, right? And then a third one is just like, it's just kind of dead, like, oops, kind of like even a flat. Now that's less likely, I think. But you should be cautious. Bulls and bears should be cautious in here, right? The other thing technically you cannot ignore, or should not ignore, is this. So we got to throw that in there as well. Okay. Let's go at the 4 hour. Okay. So we're still above the 4 hour 21. Should I be bullish or bearish? Should I be conservative or aggressive? See, Pete, I think it was Pete or Peter or Paul or Paulie. Somebody said, not sure when to be aggressive and when not to be aggressive. Well, it's actually, that's easy. That is so ridiculously easy. So we need to address this. If you're bullish and above the 21, you're aggressive. You're like an animal, a wild beast. Nothing in this world can stop you on this time frame. Well, I said right there, look, we're above the 21. Bullisher, right? You're bullish, great. Are you aggressive or conservative? You're bullish, you're aggressive. You're going to destroy resistance. What resistance? Right? It's a philosophical question. What price do you see resistance? And your response is, what resistance? But it's hit target. Are you using moving averages? See, you took profit here, so you want to get back in here. Now, there's a lot of caveats in here. You can't just be blind and mechanical and just do, So you have to be, let's say, fundamentally a bull, the fundamentals of the intermarket. So let's say, you see oil coming down, so this should go back up or whatever. I mean, you can't just be a cold-hearted machine and say, this has to go up above 21. Right? But it should match up. So you or someone else asked the question, well, how do I know when not to be aggressive? Well, when the 55 is in control. Done. Right? See, you have to understand too, it is a good question. Right? It is a good question. And I may have spent a year thinking about it. So now I simplified. I'm like, oh, well, but I've already spent a year. Now, maybe it's only important to me. Right? Okay, and then John says, well, what do you mean by aggressive? Aggressive means I want to get in, I want to get in, I want to get in, I want to get in. I'm buying, I'm a buyer. Nothing in this world can make me sell. I will destroy resistance. I will fire for effect. Doesn't mean I don't take profit. It means I get in, I want to get in. Just psychologically. Are you a bull or a bear? I'm bull. I am going to buy this. I want to buy this on the 21. And that's that. There is no other potential. Okay? You want to buy here. 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 The only thoughts in your brain is up, 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 down, down, buy! Up, 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 down, down, buy! Up, 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 down, down, buy! Okay? And there's no, because, you know, often when I talk to newer traders, they say, well, but Wayne, oh, well, in this other, oh, but, no. So clarity of mind, clarity of purpose, right? You know what you call a dolphin with a good trading strategy? Porpoise with a purpose. My kids thought that was pretty funny. So, yeah. Are you a porpoise with a purpose? Maybe, right? Who gets the fish? The porpoise with a purpose. So, yeah, you're aggressive. There is no other thing you're considering. You buy at the 21, you're done. Okay? Now you throw down the second part of my book, the more tactical part, 5A cross up, 5A cross down, take profit. Buy 5A cross up, 5A cross down, take profit. 5A cross up, 5A cross down, take profit. Maybe you're waiting for 5A cross up to get back in. But you're not thinking sell. You're not thinking, oh, maybe it's gone too far and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So again, this may only make sense to me because it's based on my interpretation of my trading. The interpretation I made probably 2003 when I answered this to myself. When do I know when to be aggressive? When, right? When should I not be aggressive? And when should I not trade? I had to come up with all this nonsense. It's nonsense. I invented it. I made it all up. I really did. I had to think about, like, well, what is trend? Do you know how difficult of a question that is? What is trend? When should I be aggressive? These are very philosophical questions with, you know, they're not easy things. Right? Yeah, they're just blinking lights, right? And of course, Ryan, if you think about it too, and this is maybe why it helped me, you're not even totally clear on what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. You're not even totally clear on what works and what doesn't work. Right? I mean, you don't even know that. So it needs some sort of test and validation. And then you have to interpret numbers and stuff. I mean, I swear to you, a year may not have even been enough time. I might have spent more than a year to answer a simple question like, when should I be aggressive? So like we spoke about last week or earlier this week, like I explained to you how I came up with the 2155 through meditation. And it's really just done for confirmation bias. Just it helps me believe in it. But you can change it to 2060 and it works just as fine. Great. But how did I get to 2060? And why do I use 2060? And why all this and why all that? Well, it helps me separate price from market. Now, that sounds easy too. That maybe took me 3 years to figure out. It sounds really easy. Oh, you just buy a book. Oh, yeah, well, you just do that. Yeah, great. Good. See how easy it is? So it's interesting. So sometimes it's hard for me to put myself in your shoes because some dude, some goofball just says, oh, yeah, well, you just do it this way, and this way. And that's that. See, look how easy it is, right? And then you try it and you're like, well, I'm trying to follow it, but I'm not quite getting it. But, you know, you're trying to do something that might have taken me 3 or 4 or 5 years of blood, sweat, and tears and literally deep ponderance and hard work. Can you really skip that other stuff? Can you skip the hard work? Do you skip the, like, no joke, hundreds of hours of meditation? Like, not just thinking, I actually meditate, right? But also the thinking and all this kind of stuff. I wonder if you still, as a human, need to go through that. Maybe it's just that emotional buy-in or something, right? I mean, I don't know. So it's interesting. Nobody taught me, so and now I teach you, and you know it's true. You can see it's there, but maybe you need to go through your own blood, sweat, and tears for years. Maybe you need to go through your own ponderance. Maybe you need to go through the incredible amounts of hard work and dedication and more than a little sacrifice. Okay. So did the PCE come out? Yeah, cool. Okay. So here's the next part that's difficult for people. Which one's better? I get this all the time. Which one's better, the 4-hour or the 15? So I was thinking that there's 2 types of questions, right? Normative, and what's the other one? I've forgotten. Normative and normative and or whatever. Price and time is always the same. So if I switch to the 15-minute chart or the 4-hour chart, what time is it? Look, if I switch from the 15 to the 4-hour, did I just jump into the future? If I drop to the 15, have I gone to the past? Or is it the exact same time? Positive or normative? Thank you. It's always the same time. Time is time. What time is it now? Okay. You switch charts, it's always the same time. Or I could look at a 15-minute chart and a 4-hour chart at the exact same time, and it'll also be the same price. You notice that? At any given second, it's the same time, the same price. All you're manipulating is the data in candlestick form, and then various indicators at various settings. But MACD is always MACD. What settings you put it on, you're just changing the settings, right? So which one's better, 4-hour or 15-minute? Well, they're exactly the same. They're just as reliable. So what I decided to do in my own trading strategy is I would say things like, well, the 4-hour chart is going to be a strategy chart. Okay. So if I'm in an uptrend, great. There's a question right there. What's an uptrend? Good. Ponder that. Okay. Second thing, if it is an uptrend, where's the support? Ideally dynamically, right? Whatever you use to define trend, right? Is it up or down? Should you be a bull or a bear? That's strategy, isn't it? Should you be a bull or a bear? And the second thing is, if you're a bull, technically, where do you buy? Because bulls only buy. That's what the 21 is, guys. So your 4-hour does two things technically. Should you be a buyer or seller in the market? And if so, right, whatever you decide, technically, at what price? That's just strategy. So when I say to you on Wednesday, oh, down here, right, near 24 and some change, right? I mean, I think I actually drew it off the pivot, right? So yesterday when I say, oh, at 124.30, if price drops down to 124.30, I have permission to consider to buy. That's a strategy. How many people can confirm that that's what we talked about on Wednesday? So on Wednesday we said this thing, this currency pair, probably will drop 100 pips. That's not a small amount of pips. And then we have permission to consider buying. That's a lot of information. It's very specific information. By the way, look at the target. It's going to go to 125.17 and then drop to 124.27. It went 1 pip above, 5 pips below in 15 or 16 pips. That's not bad. What is that, 98% accuracy? That's not bad, right? I mean, that's not bad. And then we have permission to buy. That's strategy. So now you drop from a 4-hour to a 15 or a 5. There's no strategy on a 15-minute or a 5 chart. There's no strategy. It's tactics. So you know somewhere around this area, which I've already highlighted when we were way up here 2 days ago, we're like, oh, I don't know, somewhere in here maybe I should buy. Look how accurate that is, guys. So what do you do? How do you get into this? When's your reasoning? Okay. Maybe around London Open? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe someone treats it like a double bottom at London Open. I don't know. Are there daily pivots in there? Almost certainly. Do you wait for the 5-8 cross? Do you wait for a 21.55 cross? Do you scalp the open? Do you wait to be at support and trade the oscillator? Do you wait for the higher low? Those are all tactical questions. Yeah. And this is where you guys get really caught up. Oh, well, but this and but that. That is not clarity. What gives me clarity? What makes me a porpoise with a purpose? How do I get the good fish? How does Flipper eat? Well, Peter says 4-hour 21. Yeah, but it doesn't have to be. Couldn't you use a 5-hour chart and an 18 EMA? I mean, I don't give a crap about the EMAs, honestly, or even your time frame. What, you can't make a decision like this on a daily? I used to use 2-hour charts all the time. I used to use 3-minute charts all the time. 3 minutes. I love the 3-minute chart. It's not easy to do on MT4. So none of that is really relevant, really. It's that you made a decision strategically. So in this whole world, I decided I will write a book about combining strategy with tactics. Now, the funny thing, a guy that worked for me for like 2 or 3 years went off and started another business. And then he wrote in something, I can't even remember what it was, but he came up with this brilliant idea about combining strategy with tactics in his trading, and that had never been discussed before. And I'm like, whoa, bro, you worked for me for years and you didn't realize my book was called Strategic and Tactical Forex Trading? I'm like, that's a bit of a brain fart or something. I'm like, really? You invented that? Wow. Because my book was written years before you even traded Forex. That's amazing. Yeah, no, no, it wasn't Chris. Chris was just a scumbag. But yeah. But anyways, we don't have to talk negativity. I like to talk about, winners and success. Unfortunately, though, like these guys, I love them like brothers. An immense amount of respect and loyalty and all that kind of stuff. So, but whatever. All's well that ends bad, right? Yeah, that's right. So anyways, whatever. I don't care. I don't carry negativity, but whatever. But once a scumbag, always a scumbag, in my opinion. All right, so that's cool, right? Like, so you think you start with the higher level first, and ideally you stretch even further and you start with fundamental analysis of economic data, not news. Fundamental analysis of economic data with the overriding emphasis on macroeconomics and central bank policy. That's most ideal. You start there. Then you drill down to price and time. Okay. Hey, Fed's going to raise interest rates. What does that mean? Price and time and the dollar or whatever. So that you got to start with that. Then you use technical analysis to analyze the market. And once you have the fundamental analysis of economic data with the overriding purview of macroeconomics and central banking policy. Then you do technical analysis of the market to identify trend. And then you drop into a smaller time frame to say, what can I do in the here and now? Okay. That's a trade plan. So I thought maybe this would go up on Wednesday after falling 100 pips, which blows I think a lot of amateurs' minds right then and there. How am I doing so far? You're really upset. Wayne, it didn't drop to 27, it dropped to 17. Okay. Okay. You're right. It didn't drop to 27, it dropped to 17. Now what? Now it might go back up. Does it? Okay, great. Fine. Okay. What else is supposed to fall? What did we talk about 1 week ago, last Friday? What did we talk about last Friday that would start this Friday? Okay. Peso. All right. Well, I guess we'll look at peso. So I sold it and I'm making money. You see? Cool. Nice. That's really great. Yeah. That's really cool. Making money. Making money out of nothing now at all. Making money. Yeah. Wait, so last Friday, I said that it would be slow, but we could consider selling on Friday. Look, that's Friday. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm short right here, right below the monthly pivot. Now, I could have shorted on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever these days, Thursday or whatnot. But no, I waited to Friday. Why did I wait for Friday? Because I said a week ago I would. Am I being too facetious? This is rubbing you the wrong way, isn't it? Like, it's coming across. Is that arrogant? Like, this guy's an arrogant son of a. So I don't mean to rub you the wrong way. I'm trying to make you have an emotional response. Okay? I drag you to the river and you refuse to drink. The next strategy is to drag you to the waterfall. You don't drink, I push you off. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. So hopefully, see that. Can you see the picture of you and me standing behind the waterfall? I'm like, hey, give me your camera. I'll take a picture of you. Go stand near the edge. No, little farther back. No. You back. Just back a little. Oh, damn. Did you fall? Oh, he fell off the cliff. I led him all the way to the water, and then he fell off the cliff. So that's called an anchor, by the way. If I say waterfall, I want you to think of you standing with your back to the edge of the cliff, and you hand me your camera. It's a bad start. Okay? And what are we going to associate with that imagery? I would like to associate that imagery the importance of planning a trade and then carrying it out. Can you make that association? Waterfalls, cameras. Okay? It's an anchor. Yeah. So then here's something to ponder over the weekend. If you really want to think, like you asked me some pretty deep questions, and I honestly put in some really deep thoughts. Boy, look at the sunrise over here, huh? Is my face on fire? Oh my God, my face is on fire. Yeah, no, it's right there. Wow. You asked me some pretty deep questions. I mean, I could have given you shallow, superficial answers, but they are deep questions, and I did ask myself those questions because no one was around to help me. So I would spend a year answering a question that takes you 10 seconds to ask me, right? So let me, in reverse, ask you a question and see if you can ponder it over the weekend. When we talk about this month after month after month, more specifically when we talk about it on Friday, and I think probably again on Monday, that we were going to sell this on Friday and make money. Why is it that you didn't prepare? Do you not like it? Are you scared? You don't want to win or succeed? Or are you here for entertainment? Is this fun for you? I'm telling you, you should be freaking out. Right? Wasn't that my message all last week? You didn't make 1,000 pips last week? Why aren't you freaking out? Right? Why aren't you like kicking things over? Slamming your fist against the wall if that's the type of person, and fight for it, right? But you gotta want it, is what it is, right? Yeah, I sold it at the monthly pivot on Friday morning, Ronnie. That was it. Right? Woke up super early in the morning when the sun hadn't even risen yet. Opened up my peso chart because I know it's the last Friday of the month. And I'm like, I want to get short at resistance. It hasn't made a higher high in a week. And I already know I want to be short. Oh, look, monthly pivot as resistance. Sell. So anyways, right? Yeah. So ponder. Like, maybe it's the pondering that helps. I think I'll move my stop to break even now. Nah, I'll move it here. Tough gig, man. Tough gig. So I'm going to spend the next 2 hours smoking a cigar with a friend. This is what I do most of my days. I'm a foreign exchange trader. What do you do all day? Nothing. Right? I told you the other day I went to Donuts with Dads at my kids' elementary school, and people have, the other dads have their cheap suits on, or their whatever. They're dressed like, I don't know, people with jobs of various levels of slavery, right? Some people work at nicer factories than other people. And I'm walking around, I got white denim on, I got red shoes on. I'm like, what's up? And I look like a kid. I'm like a teenager. Everyone's looking at me like, what the hell does that idiot do? And I'm thinking, well, I could tell you, but you just wouldn't understand. So you go to your stupid, commute job. Go commute to your stupid job. And I'm going to go home and smoke cigars with my pool guy. I mean, fight, man. This is it. This is what you want. It's not a dream. It is a dream. I don't know. Watch the sunrise and be done. Right? But fight, 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 fight. Right? Do you remember the whole thing is all you have to do is predict the future? So on Friday of last week, you say, well, I predict the Friday of this, the last Friday of the month, whatever it is, the 29th, USD Mexican peso might fall. So I want to be there and be ready, and I want to take that and make money. That's predicting the future, but that's what we do, isn't it? Cause and effect. Right? Did you buy stock in companies that are going to participate in rebuilding the Caribbean? Oh, maybe. I don't know, John. But it'd be a good idea. How many people are going to actually put some time aside, schedule it out this weekend, just to think about how you're going to behave differently next month, the month of October? How many people will actually schedule time, put it in their calendar, tell the kids, don't bother me, tell the wife, don't bother me, here's $100, get the hell out of here, I need 2 hours of time. And actually write it down, a written contract with yourself. How are you going to behave differently? And in fact, it doesn't even really matter how you change, just that you make a change. It makes you stronger. So like this, for example, the month of October, you wake up 8 minutes earlier. For no particular reason. Just because it's hard. You're like, Wayne, that's just too hard, blah, 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 blah. Great, so yeah. It's just too hard. Well, we need to harden you. If you can do that, you can do anything. Right? I want you to win. I want you to win. I want badly for you to win. So what are we going to do? If I was your boss, what would we talk about? Are you satisfied with the month of September? When we talked about it, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 months before, how to set it up, how to prepare, right? 1,000 pips wouldn't be enough. This is a 5 to 10 to 15,000 pip month, right? Are you satisfied with your performance? Good. But what if it's not? What if the answer was no? No, I am not. Then what should we do about it? right? Doesn't have to be, it's not a negative conversation. The upside is what you're going to do about it, and that we track that. So your plan for yourself, your trading business, not a trade plan, your trading business plan, should be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Okay? What changes are you going to make? When am I going to see them? That's what you should ask yourself. I'm not your boss, right? I'm not your dad. I'm not your friend. I'm not your lover. This is you. What are you going to do? What's your plan? So, something very specific and measurable is getting up 90 minutes early. That's difficult. An hour is early. You're like an hour earlier, but 90 minutes, most people just can't do it. They just can't do it. Forget it. I'm going to work really hard as long as it's convenient and easy. Right? No, do it because it's hard. The traders that I see succeed sleep in the bathtub when I tell them you should sleep in the bathtub. Right? This is one of the reasons Ryan's successful. Ryan is crazy. There's something wrong with Ryan, and that's why I like him. Yeah. When Ryan was born, the nurse dropped him. He landed on his head, and he cried. That was a learning experience. And then they handed Ryan to his mother, and he fell out of his mother's arms, landed on his head, and he cried. Yep. He's tough. And that's strange. We live in a world of soft people, or at least I live in a world of soft people. Right? So that we have to be unique, we have to be different. And I think we're heroes. Right? We're heroes. We're different. We're unique. We have superpowers. What kind of superpowers? If you decide to wake up 90 minutes early every day for a month, you could do it. And wear your watch on the different hand and switch your wallet to the other side. Topsy-turvy everything. But you're willing to do it, and you can do it, and you know you can do it. And no one else can do it. 95% of people just can't even do that. Just can't even do it. Wouldn't even try. Right? I think it was Ryan said to me one time when we're in Johannesburg, we were just having a conversation. He's like, yeah, well, 80% of it is just showing up. I'm like, no, that's not quite true. 80% of it is not sucking. You're almost there just by stopping, right? Just because we live in a world where everything sucks. Right? I mean, that's the bar we have to beat. Run a small business. Your competitors suck. All their clients are mediocre at best, mediocrely satisfied at best. They're like, well, this roofing guy was not bad. Right? So I don't know. So just strive for excellence. Strive for better. Impress yourself. Impress your spouse and your family. Impress your children. Just be absolutely impressive, and that means discipline and strength, being a pillar of strength and rock solid, and then learning how to do the easy things like predict the future. Well, what's the point of predicting the future if you don't take the action? Why set up the month of September for thousands and thousands? You never even heard of thousands of pips before, right? Like I said, I get emails from like service providers with long track records of history of making over 600 pips or 1,000 pips a year. 1,000 pips a year. That's what we have to beat? That's the bar? Really? We can beat that with one arm tied behind our back because I'm strong, I'm disciplined, I'm focused. I'm a killer. That's what you want too, right? And knowing when not to expect that. So I don't know. I don't know if I've lost most of you. I don't know if I've been insulted, embarrassed, or made you bored. I don't know what it is, but you know, if I was me, you know, woo, I'd be going crazy. I'd be going nuts, right? Unacceptable, and I have to change. But you know what? I did all these things with myself. I had to. I didn't have anyone to tell me. You got to do it. You got to be your own boss. You got to be your own planner. You got to track your own statistics. Hey, you should trade the same trade plan 100 times a row. You'll get really good at that pattern. You can measure your statistics. You'll know 72% of the time you win. Plus, since you're looking for something specific and it doesn't happen that often, you'll develop patience and discipline. Yeah, nobody did it. Good advice. Great. So that's it, everybody. So this is why you have to change. Plan it, put some time aside, really think about if this is what you want, and then come up with a specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Something very specific, something very measurable, something very timely, not next year. In 2018, I want to be a millionaire. That's bullshit. Get up 90 minutes early every single day of the month of October. That's a big month, too, from the 1st to the 31st. We're not doing February. February is wimps making a dedication to a big change, but only for 28 days. No, we're going big. We're going for 31 days in a row, getting up 90 minutes early, only to prove to yourself you're a tough son of a gun. And you can do anything. And you know most people won't do that. And that's how easy it is to be better. There's no other benefit. There's no other benefit. You will just prove to yourself you're capable. Now, what you do with those 90 minutes, you could even compound that and say, I will read central bank reports or whatever, or IMF reports. And you're going to run out of like reports to read. You're going to have to like go to multiple central bank websites, download multiple PDFs. You don't want to print, that's not sustainable. Get your little tablet out, read the PDF. And you're like, damn, I've done RBA, I've done BOE, I've done Bank of Canada. What should I do? RBNZ? Yeah, okay, let's go to the RBNZ website. And one day you'll be like me, cruising the Bank of Mexico, downloading PowerPoint presentations from Matt Carstens, who ran, no, Matt Carstens, what's his, no, not, I know a Matt Carstens. I don't know, remember his first name. Anyway, Carstens, who ran the Central Bank of Mexico, downloading his PowerPoint presentations, so I can see all the charts and graphs where he is analyzing macroeconomic data and how this is going to affect Mexico, and what his, a 1 year and 3 year outlook is going to be for inflation in Mexico, and why. Even though I don't speak Spanish, I can still figure it out because I'm running out of things to read. Are you willing to go that far? No, you can't do it. You can't even wake up 90 minutes early. Of course you're not going to do that. Or you can. Or you can't. Or you can. It's binary. Can you or can't you? Well, I'm usually mostly disciplined, Wayne. I'm usually mostly pretty disciplined. But Not if it's inconvenient or difficult. Then I fold like a wet paper bag. Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, 60% of the time it works every time. So anyways, I love you guys. I want you to succeed. You make my life better. So I apologize if I just slapped you across the face and spanked you. But if I was your boss and you didn't make a few thousand pips this month, I might be really pissed off. I'm like, dude, we talked about this for 6 months. What the hell? Where's my pips? He made 5,000 pips. She made 7,000 pips. This guy, he broke his leg. Missed 5 days. He's been jacked up on drugs and still made 3,000 pips. What the hell have you been doing? Well, I predicted the future, but I just didn't do it. You're like, stupid London breakout strategy just didn't work. Yeah, I tried every single day. I waited for London to open. I measured the high and low of the open, and then I waited for a breakout. But you know what? That only makes 30 or 40 pips a day. So I rocked it and made like 200 pips. 200. 200. 200 pips in the entire month. Wow. Right? Think about it, right? You're like, whoa, that's actually not a lot of money. Unless you're unbelievably, ridiculously leveraged. Well, that doesn't sound good either. I think I'll just try to figure out how to have a solid trade plan that makes a lot of money per trade, or a lot of pips per trade, and let the pips grow. But whatever. So again, have a wonderful weekend. I hope you spend time with yourself, and I hope you have some tough words with yourself and come out with some action, giving yourself. I think you should have some energy from just knowing that you're kicking ass. I think that should be spiritual and motivational enough. Every single day you wake up 90 minutes early, you know it's tough, roll into the shower, get some cold water on your face, come out and you're like, I'm an ass kicker. I'm going to kick some ass today. This is an ass kicking day because I'm up 90 minutes early. I'm a killer, I'm a crusher, I'm a destroyer. I destroy the sick, the weak. You can't put a trade plan, I crush you. You buy at resistance, I crush you. Because that's what we do, zero-sum game. If you're not a killer, you're dead. Sorry. See you Monday, huh? Sorry for babbling on for like 2 hours. Cheers. Sure, John. Anything for you, Johnny boy? Yeah, let's eat some pigs. Sergeant Slaughter. That's a good nickname, huh? Hi, Dad. This is my new boyfriend. I'd like you to meet him. Hi, sir. It's really nice to meet you. Well, it's nice to meet you, young man. What's your name? Sergeant Slaughter. What is it that you plan on doing, son, when you get out in the world and get a real job? I slaughter pigs. Make $1 million a month. It's really good. Day in, day out. Well, it sounds really good, son. I'm trying to think how the scene. What's he say? Feeling good, Valentine. Yeah, it's the end. Yeah. Trading movie. I like trading places. I like well, all of them really, right? Wall Street. I have the special version of Wall Street. Um, I like Rogue Traders pretty good because it's so hard when he's sitting there losing money on the Nikkei and he's putting millions more.